Welcome everybody. Let's take a look and see what happened in the market today. First thing we're going to look at is the Dow Jones Transportation. Now, the reason I look at the DJT index is because it's often a precursor or kind of a sign of things to come. So we see a little bounce going on here. Okay, I don't think it's going to last. I think once this gets up here and it gets exhausted, I think it's going to curl probably back down. Probably. I mean, that, we'll have to wait to see how that plays out. For right now, momentum is still negative below the zero line. That's a big deal. If it goes positive and really gets positive, and I mean both lines. See over here, you only had the light blue line go positive, but not the vanilla line. So that doesn't really count. Both lines have to go positive, kind of like over here. And it got a little bounce. Here's a really good example of it going positive very strongly, right? You see how momentum went positive really strong, and it stayed up here for a long time, right? Look at this. The SMI just chattered along the top. See that? So at the moment, we don't have that. We have negative momentum, and as long as it's negative, probably this pop up here is going to fail. I think this little cycle over here is the end of August. Okay, just looking at these cycles real quick. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. This is kind of a miss, but this one's a hit. Maybe this in here, the cycle's a little off, but okay, this is just okay, and over here it's really good too. And here it's pretty good. And over here it's not so good. And then this really big cycle, I think, goes out to October 17th. So I expect something out in October, November time to be pretty spicy as far as the market pulling back. Okay, so that's a DJT, a little pop here, and I think probably the probability is this is going to fail. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's look at the RUT. The Russell 2000 index is in negative territory momentum here. Let's just get this a little bit bigger here. You can see the momentum is here. We're below the zero line. So it's still negative momentum. On the daily, this has been really weak for a while. So we'll see. Does this get going? I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to make a little effort here. Maybe today even was the last of it. There might be a little more left in this. No, I think it's going to roll over. Daily. Yeah. I think it's going to roll over down here into the first week of July. It's probably most likely what's going to happen is we still sit here in negative momentum. So the SMI is going to be a little, when you're in negative momentum, the SMIs could still get up to the top red line, but it'll often give it up. Or it won't go all the way up there. So we'll have to wait to see how this plays out. Now, this is not really strongly negative, but it is negative momentum for the moment. Okay, so those are the two things I'm looking at. Just kind of keep an eye on those two indexes to see what they're doing. They're having a little pop here. If they get really strong and momentum takes off, then the market could change. And then the other indexes will probably follow. We'll look at the SP 500 here in a minute, which is having its own troubles. Okay. So that's kind of my, looking at what's going on far as other indexes I look at that often forecast trouble in the markets in general would be the Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell 2000. Okay, they're often decent gauges. Not always, but often they are. Especially if the Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell are both suffering. That's a pretty good combination that there's some weakness in the market. Now, by contrast, if we look at, I think by contrast, I haven't looked actually. Yeah, the Dow Jones Industrial, you can see this is pretty strong right now. Trying to go positive momentum here. Not quite there yet. So 58 is pretty low on the SMI. It's still negative momentum by just a little bit here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 has very strong momentum. You can see it's way up here. Right, look at this thing. Way up there. So it's trying to give it up here a little bit on the short-term, fast-acting SMI, right? And you can see the last, let's do this. Let's do this. The last 3 days have been down. Not big, just a small little pullback going on here. I have July 11th out here. Is it still July 11th? Sometimes it'll change depending on the weekends and all this. Yeah, still July 11th here for the cycle low on the S&P 500. And on the Russell 2000, I think it's July 8th. So they're all pointing, like I said, nothing's really changed here for as this cycle low goes. It's still looking like the first or second week of July is kind of this cycle low that I'm seeing across, quite a few products. So I don't, not a really big pullback. We're 55.88. Here we're at 55.17. 20 to 60. Let's see, 88 points. Yeah, 68 points. 70 points. 70 points. So a 70-point decline, which is not really that big of a decline, to be honest. So could see this get a little bit of momentum going here on the SMI and pull back, maybe back down to 5,400. I mean, I guess it's possible down in here. It might fill this gap right here and come back down to 5,400. But that might be all it does between now and July 11th. We'll have to wait to see how this plays out. I don't think we're going to get this big, huge pullback because we're already at June 25th. There's still a little bit of time left in this cycle, but not a whole lot of time. And generally speaking, when that happens, the pullbacks tend to be, they tend to be not quite as deep. But if you look back over here, let's see, how many days are we out there? That's, quite a few days, actually. Trading days. So we got 11 plus about 5, 16 days. Take off maybe like 4, probably like 12 trading days there. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, so it can happen. I mean, this is a pretty decent decline right here. If we're in the same place, I don't know if we'll get this kind of decline, but just goes to show it can happen in, 10 to 12 days, a lot can happen. So this ran from practically from 5,300 all the way down to 5,000. That was 300 points. So while that's not necessarily a big, huge percentage of the market, let's see, 6%, 5%, 4%, 4%. It's like a 4% decline, I think. Right, 10% is, we'll call it 56. I'm sorry, 1% is 56, and 4 is 250, about 274-ish. Okay. Interesting. So maybe, if it repeats this, which it may not, but it could be anywhere from 3 to 5% here. That is possible. You could see 3 to 5%. If it's just a little pullback and we just get like 1 or 2%, 3%, okay. But it could get as much as 4 or 5% if it does one of these deals. Because even though this is kind of a little bit late in this cycle, it just goes to show you don't need a lot of time here. There's still plenty of time left for this to pull back hard. At least 200 to 300 points. If it's 300 points, we're looking at 4 or 5% there, I think. Yeah, about 4.5%, something like that. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. And I do think we're going to get a pullback here. Everything kind of suggesting it. Yeah, this one did this big dipsy-do, and you got really nothing, right? Just little, whatever, 69 down to 5,200. So it was like 160 points maybe. Yeah. So that was only like 160 points. If we get something like that, that's just a small little nothing, right? 160 points, you're done. It's very interesting to look at some of these cycles. This was probably a part of a larger cycle. Another big cycle that's just not on this chart probably came down in here. probably what that is. I haven't gone and looked to see what the bigger cycles are, but that may be that's why this dip is so big. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts and see where was the trade of the day. My goodness, here we are on the 5-minute chart. Look at these opportunities. Wow. Last night I traded in this area right here, made some money right here. I did it in the Russell 2000, but in this case, both the Russell 2000 and the S&P 500 were tracking each other in the futures last night, more or less. I took advantage of this, I don't remember what I made, $200 or $300 in here. So there was a trade right there. Now look at this, Primo, SMI way up here at the top. Get us candlestick. I don't have to get us the get us plus indicators turned on. We'll turn it on. Show the study. And there it is right there, right? Bam. So really nice. So that was some money last night. And then for intraday, look at this. Wow. You know, at the market open at the market, morning open, just like 10 or 15 minutes after open, it went ballistic from, 55.30 here. Maybe even 55, yeah, 55.30 all the way up to, let's say, 55.55, which, that happens a lot, right? You get this bounce first thing in the morning. So that was a good 25 points, but this get us indicator indicated a trade right here at the top. Look at this, guys. Absolutely amazing. Right at the top. Bam. And then the rest of the day, it was just bombs away. Look at this. Just totally giving it up. Crazy. And I would expect that, considering we're, moving towards a cycle low on the daily chart. And that, like I said, the Dow Jones Transportation, the Russell 2000, even though today they bounce, overall they have negative momentum. So that's pretty huge right there. You're looking at, let's just kind of round this off. We'll take the block here from 55.50, all the way down to 55.15, right? Yikesies. 35 points. Huge. Huge. 35 points. My goodness. So that's, $350 for one micro today. And about 17, what is that? 3,400 plus another 1,750. My math right here? Yeah, I think it's 1,750. $1,750 for one E-mini. That's what that was. Huge. Yeah, just another seriously profitable day. And here's the same thing on the 15-minute chart. So depending on which one you were trading, you got this huge signal here at 9:15. And look at that. Oh, see, the 15-minute chart really is smoother, keeps you in the trade, right? The 5-minute charts get a little bouncy bounce, kind of scares you out right here. Probably most people would have got out right here, but you could re-engage after you see this thing giving it up right here, right? Re-engage, massive negative momentum. Just re-engage, take it again. So maybe you don't get all 3,500. Well, see, the thing is, whenever I look at these profits, I always just take the block, right? I don't take the trimmings, right? The tails up in here. Because I realize not everybody's going to, very few people are going to hit the absolute peak and the absolute bottom. So I think, to say 35 points is realistic here. Because you're going to probably get out in this area, let it do its thing, and then take another trade. So, maybe it's a couple $100 less than that. Maybe it's like 3,300. $3,200 instead of 3,500, right? For two contracts, and for one contract, maybe instead of 1,750, you're looking at more like $1,500, right? Still a really awesome day. Okay, for me personally, right now, I just have a position in the Russell 2000. I'm waiting for it to kind of hopefully do a pullback here, see how it goes. So I didn't close any positions today. I'm just kind of chilling and waiting. Kind of a smallish position because I had a feeling it was going to bounce. And we'll just see how this plays out. The Russell 2000 looking kind of peaky right now, and hopefully it works in my favor. If not, well, we got to mitigate losses and do what we got to do. All right, so that's that. Some awesome trades of the day right there. So if you want to become a member, that's great. There is a discord.com link in the comment section with the top comment, or you can look just in the description of the video. There's a link there with some instructions. So you make sure you read those instructions, then click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you to the server, get a server, then click on server shop right here. $7.99, guys. I mean, you see the profits that can be made, right? Even with a little micro futures contract today, I think you could have made $250 to $300 pretty easily. I mean, that's like, $8. Just, divide $250 by 8, whatever that is, right? That's probably like 30 months worth of membership just in one day. So the membership, if you're patient, right, and you're using the service correctly, the membership's going to pay for itself most likely. The streaming charts are down here. So we looked at the trade of the day. Remember, we looked at the 5-minute chart and the 15-minute chart. Well, they're down here. You get those live stream 5 days a week. Okay, there's a 5-minute, a 15-minute, and a 1-hour chart. That's for intraday traders. You want to trade that? You're an intraday trader. You're doing day trading. You want to keep an eye on the charts. There you go. It's right there. Just click on that, and you get the streaming charts Monday through Friday. Also, there's a streaming charts for gold. So if you want to watch, I have 1 or 2 members that trade a lot of gold. They're always watching gold. And I know they're making a lot of bank. So if you're into gold, that's great. Just hit me up in member chat when you join and say, hey, get us, where's the link for the gold streaming charts? And I'll give it to you. Okay. Every night emails go out. So put your email address in here, emails only. What you're going to get is 5 different charts attached to the email. You get the weekly and daily S&P 500 futures chart, which we just showed you. I just showed today in this video. You get 3 2-hour charts, which are really awesome for swing trades. Okay, I've been using these 2-hour charts like for the last couple of weeks since I put out the new indicator. As a directional indicator on those 2-hour charts are really nice. And it's for the SPX, which is the S&P 500. It's for the NDX, which is the NASDAQ. And it's for the RUT, which is the Russell 2000. I've been trading a lot of the Russell because it's been very directional, been very predictable lately. So that's where I've been putting my, taking my positions. Okay, so those are also included in the email. You get 5 different charts every night, Monday through Thursday. And then I also include, a couple sentences or more of what I think the market's going to do the next day. All right. So a really good email, you want that. You want to get on the email list. Okay, premium symbols. There's future symbols in here that go in there every day. Optional stocks go in there every day. Industries. So if you want to know how some of the biggest funds in the rotation of money is happening with the really big funds, you can see it by looking at the industry symbols. Every day I get industry symbols. They show almost every day, they show up. So you know where the money's moving in and out of by looking at those symbols. Okay, just go look at the chart and say, oh my gosh, the money's moved in or money moved out of those symbols. Okay, and it's very informational. Really helps you to set up some trades and get some ideas about where the money's going in the market if that's the type of way you trade. Okay, I tend to trade futures, so I don't use that strategy, but I know a lot of people use that strategy. They want to know where the money's flowing in and out of, and what industries and sectors. So that's really something you should look at. And then lastly, there's some symbols in there for shorting. Okay, so there's 4 different files in there in this channel, and all have symbols. Just click on the link. You're going to get a CSV file, which is a comma separated file, and you can just whatever on your computer, just Excel or open it up. If you don't have Excel, you can get Apache. Apache spreadsheet is free. You can download. It's called Apache, A-P-A-C-H-E, I think. Apache spreadsheet. Just look, Google it or whatever, and it's free download. Okay, so I use it all the time. I don't use Excel because I don't want to pay for the stupid Microsoft product. I just use Apache. All right, it's great. It basically does everything that Excel does. All right, so that's how you get those files to work for you. Just download Apache, open up the CSV file. Fixed income. I've been buying corporate bonds lately. I've been taking my profits from like the Russell 2000, and I go cherry pick the best corporate bonds, and I've been buying them. Okay, I'm getting fixed income. I'm getting some money coming in. My money's working for me. Okay, this is really important. I talk about this all the time. Don't just trade. You also want to invest. You need to do both. You want to do trading, take your profits from trading, and then invest the money. All right, so when I do that, when I invest and buy bonds, it'll be in this channel. And I have recently just bought some bonds. So for those that want to know about fixed income and corporate bonds, come check out this channel. All right. Every day, I put out videos like the one I'm doing right now. It goes right here in the Get Us Only post channel. So you can go in there and watch the daily video right here on the server. Okay, you just watch it. It's great. A lot of people watch the video every day. Some people just look at the emails. It depends how busy you are, whatever. You have both. All right. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is the rules. Yep, the rules are right here. I know nobody likes the rules, but you got to have rules in life. This is the way it is. Otherwise, we just have a chaotic life, right? There's the refund rules are in there, so make sure you read them, understand what the refund rules are. There's also a disclaimer in there. Nope, I'm not a financial advisor. Educational purposes only. Everything on this server, no matter who says it, is strictly educational purposes only. No financial advice is implied whatsoever, okay, guys? You're responsible for your own trades. That's the way it's got to be. In fact, that's the way I would want it to be. Okay, you can use the service. It's a great service. It's extremely affordable for $7.99 a month. It's crazy affordable. Okay, use the service to your advantage. Learn how to make some bank. That's great, okay? And you'll notice I don't stream my trades, okay? Because I don't want people just copying me. I want people learning how to do it themselves. That's what the service does. Helps you become a better trader, okay? And then lastly is a rule in there. Be respectful. Be nice. Don't come in here and start trolling around and creating problems, because I'm going to delete your content, and if it gets bad enough, I might kick you or ban you. Okay? So don't do that. Don't be that kind of person. Just come in, learn the service, watch the videos, okay? Use the streaming charts to your advantage. Okay, the last thing I meant to say, but I forgot to tell you is when you join, if you're a new member, ask me about the new members video. And I'll give you the link. You can go watch the video. It kind of gives you a introduction to how I use the Get Us Plus indicator and some of the other indicators and how I go about doing my basic trades, okay? But the big thing, the big addition lately has been the 2-hour directional charts. Those charts are so powerful. They've really helped me stay in trades better and extract more profit out of the market on a regular basis, right? So less, make some profits and lose money. Make some profits, lose money. Less of that, right? And more consistent profits is what I'm after. And those 2-hour directional charts have been really helpful. All right, I think that pretty much covers it. Hope everybody had a really good, awesome trading day. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.